Hey guys, it's Mark from City Permaculture, and today I'm going to show you how to do a routine inspection on a beehive. So at the moment, I've set the camera up. We're just facing the entrance here, and we can see the bees are happily going in and out of the hive. I've just got to put my gloves on, and then we'll go through some tools, and we'll get started. So first things first, we've got the obvious thing, which is the bee suit. I know a lot of people that you see online don't wear them. Because I'm obviously an amateur, I think it's very important to be safe. So I'll be wearing one today and probably into the future. We've got here, this is a hive tool. This tool is what we use to actually crack open the hive and to separate all the frames, and also to leverage out the frames using this sort of leverage motion. We've got a pair of clamps. These clamps help us actually hold onto those frames and pull them out, and we can set them aside. It's very important when you do pull them out that they're all in the same order, because it's like picking up a city and then juggling all the streets and blocks around. So as you can see, the bees are starting to fly around here because I'm right close to them. Our bees are actually not very aggressive, which is good. We've also got our smoker here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna start by just smoking the entrance a little bit. So we're just giving a little bit of a smoke at the start, and we're going to wait a couple of minutes to make sure that the bees start to calm down. The purpose of the smoke is just to kind of subdue them a little bit. We want our smoke to be a cool white smoke, so you don't want to be kind of forcing heat or any sort of other things like that in there that might get them annoyed. And the other tool that we have here is we've got like a little bee brush, and the hairs are really, really fine. The purpose of this is just to gently kind of brush the bees off the frames. And in doing so, you don't damage them, and you're a little bit gentler with the whole thing. Okay, so just going to do a couple more smokes into there. There we go. So what we can do now is we can start taking off the top of the box. And I'll just place everything just on the side. Okay, so on the top of the hive we've got a mat, and that mat again is just to kind of protect everything. It's pretty common to get things like ants, so I'll just brush away those nicely and gently. And whilst I'm doing that, I'll also just apply a bit of smoke. It is important to not over smoke your hive as well, because it does take a while for the bees to recover from that. So you can grab your hive tool and you just can kind of take that off. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to just start by getting this tool and just prying it into to just loosen it up a touch. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 frames. You can have up to 9 or 10 even, depending on the size of your box, I'm pretty sure. But we've decided to go with that because it's just easier to manage. So what I'll do, yep, so it looks like it's free. Move that smoker to the side. And I'll get a hold of our clamp. And just pull this out. So here we go. So check this out. Here we've got plenty of bees. Looks like there's not much brood or anything on this part of the comb. So I'm just going to place this on its side, just so that way I know exactly which order to put them back in. And then we repeat the process. I get my hive tool and just do a bit of gentle separation here. And then use the clamp to just gently lift up. There we go. So the bees are definitely, there's lots and lots of bees, which is really good. We do have gaps in all of the comb, which is fine because it is a new colony and they are still in the process of establishing themselves. So we can basically do this process now as if you're me. So you can kind of get a bit of a bird's eye view of what I see when I do this. And something you'll notice is there are elastic bands in here. Those elastic bands were purely to set the position of the comb, because, interesting story, when we first got our hive, the hive was actually in a bird box. So we had a swarm that landed in that tree in a bird box that was designed for rosellas, and it was about 5 meters above the ground in the air. So the very first time that I ever handled a hive or bees or anything like that, I was actually 5 meters in the air. That was exciting. So let's just have a look here. So sometimes we get a little bit of what we call cross combing, and that's where you've got comb actually going from one side or one frame to another. There's a tiny, tiny little bit here, but with time you end up setting everything like nicely. So it's kind of the beekeeper's job to guide them and make sure that these frames are actually doing the right thing. Okay, so now let's have a look. Maybe let's inspect these ones here. Okay. Plenty of bees. Some brood. The brood is this part here. So see how you can see this is capped. So this is where like a little baby bee will eventually emerge from. Those little cap bits. So here's another frame. Now that we've got plenty of space, I don't really need to do much in terms of like juggling or taking them out. It would be nice if we could see the queen, but it's not, you don't see her every single time. Looks like there's a lot of nectar or something here. So the bees are putting nectar in all of these. This one looks like it's got its head right up in there. You can see it. Nice and busy. So at some point, once all of these frames are all full, we're going to put the super on top. The super is that additional box where you end up making all of your honey from. And the original box, the lower one, is usually where all of the bees are bred. That's where your brood box. So here we go. So there's a little bit, there's less activity happening here. This is just kind of, this is on the outer part. I'm not sure if you can hear it on the microphone because I've got it actually a lapel mic on at the moment. I'll turn this one on. Just have a listen to these bees. It's crazy. Literally sounds like a small jet plane or something like that, just sitting on the tarmac ready to take off. Okay. Well, here you go. So that was our routine inspection. There was definitely nowhere near as much capped brood as what we had a couple of weeks ago, just before Christmas. So that'll be interesting to see, see whether that changes. Okay, so now we're done. What we can do is we can put it all back. So again, you just kind of are pushing them back together, and we remember the order because this is actually the way that they came out. So we're popping this all back in. And that's it. So thanks for joining me on this little vid where we're just inspecting our beehives. So hopefully you can follow our journey on YouTube, Inner City Permaculture, and I'll catch you soon.